Okay, I'm in a 2007 Chrysler PT Cruiser. I have several different systems for this vehicle. First step is we're going to remove the steering column cover. There's a T15 Torx in the back. I'm going to remove that first. 2 Phillips screws in the front of the steering column. We're going to go ahead and we're going to remove those as well. We're going to try to do this without taking the entire vehicle apart, which will make it a little bit easier because of the airbag on the 2007. So we're going to go ahead and we're just going to sneak this column plastic out of here. And then we will continue on to the next step. We're going to remove the rest of the dash for easier access. It's too hard to do a video leaving all this stuff intact. Although I could do this vehicle this way and access all the wires, it's going to be hard for you to do it this way. Down behind the driver's knee pad, there are 3 tabs that lock the underdash into the piece underneath. So we're going to need to push down on these barbs to release these tabs before the dash will come out. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to show you how to do that. These are the barbs. There's 1, 2, 3. Okay, we're going to reach down through the opening here and we're going to push down on the barbs, the plastic, while we remove the dash. We're going to pull the top clip off and then we're going to push each barb down, and this will allow us to pop the bottom of the underdash out. If we have stuff hanging out, we can slide a plastic tool in the groove to release the bottom tabs between the airbag and the underdash. Now we're going to pull out and remove the underdash. Underneath we have a cover plate. We're going to go ahead and we're going to remove the cover plate, which is held on by T15 Torx screws. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to pull the 4 screws and take the cover plate off. Okay, with the cover plate off, we're going to be dealing with the main ignition plug and the immobilizer plug for this installation. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to slide the clip out on the main ignition plug. We're going to press the lock clip and pull the main ignition plug. We're also going to, being very careful, push in the lock clip of the immobilizer plug, and we're going to release that as well. Try to give you a better picture of that. The immobilizer plug is right there. We're going to go ahead and we're going to push the clip in and we're going to pull out on the plug. The plug will release when the clip is fully pressed. If the plug doesn't release, the clip is not pressed, and do not force it, you will cause damage. This assembly is also a little bit fragile, so you don't want to push on this because you can break the ring. Okay, we're going to put in the iDataLink standalone remote starting system first. I'm going to show you the barbs that we had to release. You can see them better here. On the plate that we took off, there are tabs that interlock into the underside of the dash. When we reached through the opening, we were pressing down on these in order to release them and allow this to slide off. On the bottom, when I put the plastic tool underneath, I was creating a gap in between these channels here so that this panel would release from these little tabs without breaking. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to get started putting in the iDataLink first. This is an iDataLink standalone. It will require two connections at the main ignition plug, the starter and the MUX, and plugging into the immobilizer plug. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to consult our iDataLink data, and we're going to see that the PT Cruiser starter wire color is pink and blue, and the MUX is purple and brown. So we're going to go ahead on the main ignition plug, and this installation applies to any of the vehicles with a starter wire. Goes for 05 to 07 Charger, 05 to 07 Chrysler 300, and a few other vehicles on this platform. The wires that we're looking for, you have to look, there's two purple wires. We don't want the purple with an orange stripe. We want the purple with a brown stripe as our MUX. So we've located the MUX, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to apply a 3M tap to the MUX wire. We're also going to work the tap in a little bit to make sure it seats firmly. If this connection is incorrect, the remote starter will not function properly. The next connection we need is on the pink and blue wire. This is actually a starter wire. This vehicle has a starter wire. The next generation of these vehicles does not have a starter wire, and these two connections are not required because of that. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to tap that. Now on your harness assembly, there's going to be two wires labeled. One labeled MUX, one labeled starter. We're going to plug the MUX wire into the MUX connection, the starter wire into the starter connection. Now we're going to reinstall the main ignition plug. The second thing we're going to do is we're going to plug the iDataLink fuse block box into the vehicle's immobilizer harness. And then we're going to plug in our iDataLink T harness end into the vehicle's immobilizer. Being careful to support the immobilizer whenever plugging into it so that we don't break it. We're going to make sure both plugs lock and seat firmly. At this point, we're ready to program our iDataLink ALCA. To begin programming, we're going to place the OEM key in the ignition, and we're going to turn the ignition to the on position. The green light is going to begin flashing rapidly. We're going to then shut the key off and remove it from the ignition. If the green light doesn't start flashing, you haven't turned the ignition fully to the on position. At this point, we're going to push the unlock button on the OEM remote. This is going to complete programming of the ALCA. From this point forward, we will be able to start the vehicle by locking the doors 3 times in succession. This will trigger remote starting of the vehicle. Pressing the brake pedal will shut the engine off and verify data communication between the vehicle and the module. To start the vehicle again, we're going to simply press the button, the close lock button 3 times.